Alright guys, here it is. The secret of manifesting your dreams. Growth is what life is designed to do. Everything that is alive is either growing or dying. Life has put together the most intricate design that is known. Nature is a miracle. It is completely unfathomable as to how all of this became itself, including you and I. But there is one thing that is completely evident in the workings of it all. Growth. So if growth is inherent in life, then why would we ever stop growing? The answer comes in a single word that means a million different things to a million different people. Stress. So how does effort play into all of this? Effort is necessary in the process of growth, but human beings are far more complex and evolved than we know of. At a certain point, the effort we once used to get us to where we are can hinder and completely halt our growth and performance. We have all seen it in the sporting arena time and time again, in the music industry. Even our favorite actors falter in their performance long after they've been labeled masters of their craft. Why? Because our conscious mind is getting in the way of our intuition. Intuition is kind of like a mystical term for most people. We often use words like these without thinking of what they really mean and why they are the way they are. Well, I don't. I love to think about how things began, as you can tell, especially words. Our entire lives are based on words, and the same word often means two different things to two different people. So intuition to me means letting go and trusting that all the information and skill necessary are within, and I need to do nothing to let them out. The key word there is nothing.
No thing.
Your intuition is your inner voice. It can only speak when you are quiet, inside and out. It is there before any of your training or learning even started. In fact, it is what made you choose what to put your effort into. It helped you decide to train and learn what you did. And there comes a point when it can start to work for you if you let it. When I think of times I've been in a situation that I have no idea how I did it or how I got through it, I know it was my intuition that took over. I've had so many of these experiences, I can only imagine that all of you have had at least one like this before. It feels like you're just an observer, watching yourself in action. The more training and effort put in always strengthens the intuition. And like I said, it is present before any training. So I also believe that it might have already known everything you needed to learn, but you needed the muscle memory as well in order to manifest it into the physical world. It's almost as if the intuition needs to prove itself to the subconscious mind before it is allowed to take over. When one achieves success in anything, true success, they let go and let their intuition guide them. Think of a time when you did something amazing, a time when you were at your best. If you're anything like me and all of those that I've learned from, you should have felt amazed yourself by your own performance. It is almost as if you were only a tool or a vehicle and something else was using you. This only happens when we let go. There are some people who call it flow. I love that term because it describes the way it feels in every sense. You feel like you're flowing. You feel like time slows down and you're floating along, watching yourself manipulate reality. So why and how do we hinder the power of our own intuition? Why don't we just grow like crazy? Because most of us live in a very competitive, cynical, crazy world, and it becomes very difficult to have any peace and quiet at any time, inside or out. We begin to lose our sense of faith in ourselves and the world around us. And when this happens, we usually go into defense mode. When we are in defense mode, aka ego mode, we question ourselves, our lives, and everything in it. We feel like we must put forth much effort so we do not lose what we've gained. In this state, we have so much noise inside and outside that we cannot hear the inner voice anymore. We lose our inspiration because it has been drowned out by constant worry and anxiety. We begin to question our own talent and lose faith completely. We feel alone and at war at the same time. We want desperately to get back to that amazing quiet intelligence that extracted the best of who we were, but we don't know how, because we never knew exactly what it was. So we fight and scratch to get back to where we once were, and although we keep pushing with all of our effort, we can never get back as long as we are trying to. It's the trying that hinders our growth, the effort. Have you ever had a backseat driver telling you what to do and where to go while you were driving? This is exactly the same thing. When your conscious mind starts to give direction to something that is already in process in the pre-learned subconscious mind, it creates an interference or a disturbance. Think about a time when you were trying to think of a name or trying to fall asleep or meditate. What happened? You probably grew so frustrated that you finally gave up. And then what happens? You suddenly remember the name, fall asleep, or slip into silence. It is the same for everything we do. Athletes begin to falter in their game when they are thinking too much and trying too hard to do what they've already mastered. Writers and artists cannot force themselves to create. It must come in the flow of letting go. So whatever it is that you really want to have to create, to accomplish, you must let go of it. This is the ultimate secret of manifestation. We must believe that it is already done. I believe that actually came from Jesus. We must know that what it is we are after is meant for us to have, and that the desire to have it is its very potential seeking expression through us. Let me say that again. We must believe that it is already done. We must know that what it is that we are after is meant for us to have, and that the desire to have it is its very potential seeking expression through us. So in effect, it is not that we want anything at all, but what it is we think we want really wants us. Stay tuned.